Okay, good morning, class. So this is the next stage for our GUI, our graphic user interface. So this morning we did an interface that had a button and a J-frame, and when you click the button, the text on the button would change. So now we're going to start adding some graphics. So first things first, you're going to need an image. So in the Files section, the three dots allow you to upload a file. So I've uploaded this image. It's a jacket image. Okay, so that's our starting point. The second point is we need to add a file, and this file is going to be called mycanvas.java. So please note the spelling of it, so mycanvas.java. And I'm going to create some code in here. So the first thing is that I'm going to import java.awt and import java.javax.swing asterisk. So the asterisk allows me to import all the classes that belong to this. The next stage is I'm going to create a class, public class, and it's called myCanvas, and I've got to spell it exactly the same as my file name, and it should extend, so the word extends, canvas, and opening and closing squiggly braces. So this is creating a class in the grade 12 class for dealing with object-oriented programming, so they'll recognize this. But basically, there already is a Canvas class, and we're just extending it because we're gonna do some stuff with it. So I'm just going to run the program, and all I'm looking is to make sure that there's no errors. So everything looks like it's starting up all right. So that's excellent. And my code is loading up. There's my window, there's my button, everything's working. So I'm just going to stop the code. Everything's good. That's fantastic. So here's my Canvas class, and I'm just going to get it so that I can start typing. And I've got an image, so I'm just going to create a string that is called the image name. And that is going to be the name of my image. Notice that I've got to spell it exactly the same, so if you're doing this, try to make sure that you spell it exactly the same. Make sure your image doesn't have any spaces in the name, because that can be wonky. So rename it if you need to, so that it's set up, and it should be something like a JPG file. So now that's great. I've got my image, and the key thing is I want to be able to paint it on the screen. So I'm going to create a method here, and it's called paint. Now paint is going to take a graphics class. So the graphics class is built right into these libraries that I'm dealing with. So here's my paint method, and the first thing is that I need to be able to interact with the operating system. So there's something called the toolkit, and I'm going to use the toolkit. There's a method in there called get default toolkit. So this is a really key line of code, because what it does is it allows my Canvas to interact with the operating system. So that's really important. So the next thing is that I am going to need my image. So image I, and I'm going to just spell the word image with small letters, and I'm going to assign it a value of t dot get image, and I'm going to put in my image name. So this image name, remember, is the variable from up here. T is my toolkit, so I'm able to get the image based on the name thanks to the toolkit. And so there's my image. Now, my next thing is to draw the image. So my graphics allow me to draw images. So g.draw image is my thing, and I need to, what image? Well, it's the one that I just created. And my position, so I'm going to put it at position 0, position 100, and the word this simply refers to the class, this class that I'm in. So that's why I'm using that. So that That should create my code. At the moment, if I run it, I'm not going to see anything yet. That's okay. Sorry, I just need to make sure I got my open files here so I can refer to it. What I need to do is go back to my main method. I'm just going to stop this. And in my main method, I now need to add some stuff. So the first thing is I'm going to add my canvas outside. This is my canvas, so that's what I'm referring to. I'm going to call it the letter M. And the reason it's outside the main method is I'm going to access it in some different things when I make a more complex program. So I want to make sure it's accessible. So by static, it is. So within here, here's my button, and my frame. So I'm going to create my canvas right here. So M equals my canvas brackets. Capitals are going to matter. Your capitals need to be set same way as over here. So now I've created my instance of the canvas. And what I'm going to do is down here, where I add my frame, I'm going to add my canvas, which is the letter M. M is probably not the best name for it, but let's just run this. I should now have my canvas on the screen. And there we go. I have my button here. I have my canvas here. So this is really, really useful. I can draw images on the screen. I can add other things, but I'm not worrying about that today. So this is great. Now, I want to be able to change the image, and that's where it gets a little bit tricky. So if I'm going to change the image, then what I want to do, actually, you know what? Let's pause here. I'm going to create a separate video for changing the image, simply so that you can make sure to get this code. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this particular file, and I'll share this in Google Classroom so you can refer to it. There's all the code for it. Make sure that you are able to create an image, and this will build upon this in the next video.